Hi, Matthew here from Simply Spanish Wine. Welcome to another tasting video. Today we're looking at another of the wines from Verum. This is the Ulterior Parcela 7 and 9. Verum, as we know, are based down in Castilla, Mancha, and this is an amphora-aged wine, exploding with apple, quince, minerality, and made from the famous, but perhaps not so well known outside Spain, Albillo Real grape. Now, for those of you who've tried Las Tenadas, you'll know that Verum is owned and run by the López Montero family. They've been a key part of the winemaking tradition in the very wine-focused town of Tomelloso in Castilla-La Mancha, which is about an hour and a half south of Madrid. Their history goes back to the 18th century. They farm about 250 hectares in total, and lots of it for distillation. But in 2005, they set up the Verum project, which with a clear focus on making fine still wines from about 80 hectares of lots of different vineyard sites around the property. Now, Verum means truthful or real in Latin, and that's really that kind of search for authenticity in all aspects of the winemaking process is what really sets the winery apart. One of the sons is the chief winemaker, Elias López Montero. Now, Elias is one of Spain's brightest winemaking stars, and his philosophy is very much to work ecologically, respecting natural cycles and the character of the land, to really try and showcase the full potential of all the different grape varieties. That clarity of focus has brought praise and plaudits from a whole host of international wine critics, people like Jancis Robinson in the UK or the Wine Advocate magazine in the US. So the wine itself, well, Ulterior Parcela 7 and 9 is made from Albillo Real. As I said, Albillo Real is a native Spanish grape that for centuries was consumed primarily as a table grape. Now, these days, white wines made from Albillo Real are increasingly in demand, although it can be quite hard to find it outside of Spain. So if you find some, you really want to try it. It's delicious. Now, Albillo Real ripens quite early. It's resistant to drought, so that's a good thing in dry, hot Castilla-La Mancha. And in the winery, it can sometimes be quite oxidative, which means the chemical reactions can speed up quite a bit when it comes into contact with oxygen, which means the wine can sometimes develop more nutty, more sherry-like characteristics if the winemaker isn't careful, or if that's not what the winemaker is looking to achieve. Now, wines made from Albillo Real tend to be quite pale in colour. They have, I think, delicious aromas, things like quince, pear, orange blossom, jasmine. They're very rich, very succulent wines. Sometimes they have a touch of grapefruit skin too. They can be quite dense in the mouth, almost oily in the mouth. They have very good structure and occasionally a slightly bitter aftertaste. So, Ulterior Parcela 7 and 9, as you might expect, is made from two different vineyard plots, Plot 7 and Plot 9, at the Verum winery. The grapes are harvested manually, brought into the vineyard, into the winery, and then fermented gently at no more than 19 degrees centigrade. Then a small amount of the wine is aged in 600-litre French oak barrels, and the remainder goes into 6,000-litre or 300 arroba, as the traditional measurement is down in that part of the world, 600-litre clay tenajas, or amphora. And once it's been bottled, the wine then spends 12 months resting in the winery's magnificent underground cellar, which Ben and I have had the pleasure of visiting a couple of times now. It really is amazing. It's lemon yellow in colour, golden streaks, and the wine has quite a complex and pretty intense nose. There's lots of mineral aromas, but layers of red apple, aromatic herbs, and then a background that reminds you a bit of quince. It's lively on the palate with good volume. It kind of fills your mouth. It's medium acidity, and there's a lingering aftertaste of herbs and apple. Now, in terms of food, this wine would be delicious with all sorts of game and pasta dishes. You could try it with mushrooms too. I think that pairing would work really well. So there we are, Ulterior Parcela 7 and 9, a delicious Albillo Real, amphora-aged Albillo Real, available now on the Simply Spanish Wine website. Thanks for watching. See you again soon for another one of our tasting videos. Take care.